Yogis, my name is Stephen Chang, coming to you live from Simha Yoga Lab in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule, as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. My preferred way of payment is through Venmo, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab. And my 4-digit ID code is 8096 if you're prompted for it. Classes are $10, and if you're having a difficult time, $5 is fine. Please share, let people know that classes are happening, and through your word of mouth, I would really appreciate that. If you see anything on Instagram and on Facebook, please repost and just let's spread the word. I am live streaming on Instagram and Facebook, and those recordings are then saved on the respective platforms. However, I do have a YouTube channel, Simha Yoga Lab, and the videos on there has a much better quality video and audio. So if you're not streaming with me and working off of my stream times and you're taking classes whenever, then it's actually better perhaps to take classes through your YouTube. And in YouTube, you can pull up the videos on your smart TVs. If you have the app on your TVs, you can just look up Simha Yoga Lab and watch it off of the TV. So a larger screen might be a little bit more productive for you learning the practice and poses. Today's class is basics. It is level 1. We'll keep it pretty mellow. It's all about productive movements and the basic asanas poses to kind of give you a strong foundation to work toward increasing your level of practice. So please be mindful of all of the instructions, both verbal, and I'm doing the practice with you. Now, for those of you who are new to my practice, welcome. However, make sure that you always check in, and if I'm going a little bit deeper than you're ready for, pull back a little bit. You do not need to take the full expression of the pose, but it is important to keep alignment, so do the best you can to follow the instructions on the alignment. If you need to modify, I will give you several options as well. So I'll give you the basics, the modified version, as well as maybe a variation on something. So pick and choose what is most appropriate for your body. So really always check in, make some good decisions about what is okay for you to take today and what is too much. If it's too much, please don't hurt yourselves by doing too much today, okay? All right, so for those of you who have tighter hips and a tight lower back, I recommend elevation. So if you sit up on a block, a blanket, a book, something to prop you up a little bit. That makes this cross-legged position a little bit more accessible, a little bit more comfortable. So please go ahead and do that. All right, cross-legged position. Let the palms face up, fingers come to Jnana Mudra, thumb and index fingers touching. Then ground evenly through your seat, connecting to a lengthy tall spine. Let the shoulders broaden. Let the lips touch. Starting to regulate your breath by breathing only through your nose. And let your inhales even out with your exhales. Three Oms together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer and from the heart, pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs, lifting the heart up toward the sky, setting your intention for yoga practice, devoting your practice to someone or something, or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart, chanting the mantra for purification, purifying the space in which you practice yoga, call a response. I will call it and repeat the response with you. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrava, Pavitrava, Sarva Vashtan, Sarva Vashtan, Gatopiva, Gatopiva, Yaha Smarit, Yaha Smarit, Pundrikaksham, Pundrikaksham, Sabahya, Sabahya, Bihyandraha, Bihyandraha, Suchihi, Suchihi. Starting to open the eyes and let the palms face up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side. Elongate through the left side of the neck. And then draw the chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center, drop the right hand. Left ear to the left shoulder, left hand to the right side. And then the chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center, drop the left hand, chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction. Ear to one side, roll it back, opposite side, roll the center. Take a few more rounds in that same direction. One more giant circle, chin back toward the chest and pause. And then opposite direction. And then back to center again. Lift the chin parallel to the floor and neutral spine. Coming off your blocks. Extending the legs forward, separating the feet. Hands supporting to either side as you sit up tall. Turn your toes toward each other. And then roll out. Draw in. Roll out. Draw in. Outer rotation, circling the ankles. Back to center, switch them around in rotations. Back to center again, cross your shins, opposite shin on top. Take the arms up high, extend, twist to the right on the exhale. Back to center, arms up. Exhale, other side. Back to center again. Side bends, right hand down, left arm overhead. Take back up, other side. Back to center again, legs forward, forward fold. Now, if you have tighter hips, you can always bend your knees, but still flex your feet and reach forward. Raise your arms up high. Keep the spine lengthy. I'll give you a side view. Keep the spine lengthy. Hinge at the hips, draw forward. Now, once you get to your maximum and you feel like you're beginning to round, then stay where you are with that lengthiness of the spine and just move your arms, right? And you can take the shins, you can take the ankles, or the tops of the feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Pull against your feet, your ankles or your shins, to go a little bit deeper into forward fold. You should feel a nice extension, a stretch to your lower back, right? If you start to round, I want you to really think about lengthiness by lifting through your heart center, your sternum forward, and lift up slightly, but at the same time, use that lengthiness and your hands against your legs to pull forward. Right? So if you're fully extended, you're working here. Right? So if you have the mobility, then you can just keep working forward and get more depth out of the pose. However, if you're rather tight in the lower back and your hamstrings, it might be more effective and a lot safer for you to stay a little higher, right? So always looking for lengthiness in the forward fold, and then you're stretching for the lower back and maybe even your hamstrings, depending on your positioning. All right, come back up. If you have your knees bent, extend the legs forward and flex your feet. By flexing your feet, you're also grounding the back of the legs down to the floor. Take the hands to either side of the hips and let the fingertips point forward. Sit up tall, broaden your shoulders. Then lift your sternum, your heart center, forward and up as you draw the shoulders back. And then gently looking upwards in a 45-degree angle. So you should feel a lot of openness through your chest and the front of the shoulders, and engagement through your upper back. And start to release. Keep the legs as they are so your feet are separated. Right hand behind you. Left hand to outer right leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Back to center. Twist to the other side. Right hand outer left leg. Left hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. So with the action of the left shoulder, draw the left shoulder back. So that will give you more openness through the collarbones, through the front of the left shoulder. Then use your right hand to outer left leg for resistance to twist a little bit deeper. And you can look forward, you can look to the side, or you can look behind you, depending on the flexibility of your neck. All right, take it back to center. Now this time, rather than pointing the fingertips forward, you're going to rotate the fingertips outwardly. Maybe you're going to walk your hands slightly behind you. And again, broaden your shoulders. Lift the heart center up. Draw the shoulders back. And then take the gaze slightly upwards. Now, if you want to add a little bit more, you can look up a little bit higher. Keep broadening. What I don't want is for you to crunch your neck and looking straight up, and that compresses the back of the neck. I want you to find lengthiness by lifting through your sternum, looking upwards, but supporting the back of the neck. Let the shoulders broaden, so you're drawing your shoulders back and kissing your shoulder blades toward each other. Right? So poses like this is what we call heart openers, right? And what this does is it reverses the effects of hunching over, right? So oftentimes we're rounding forward, looking at computers, looking at our phones, right? So this is hunching over, the rounding of the back, right? So over expanding of the back. So what we're doing now is we're going the opposite direction. So it's quite therapeutic to help you start to work the opposite direction of the hunching. Right? In time, this will help you get better posture. All right, come back to neutral spine. You're going to take the right hand, we're going to twist to the right again first, right? You're going to walk your right hand slightly further back. Now keep the lengthiness of the spine. All you're doing is tilting back. What I'm not looking for is for you to collapse your lower back just to twist, right? You see how this could be very tricky for your spine. So I want you to find lengthiness, right? Then walk your right hand slightly further back, so you're tilting back with a straighter spine. Then left hand to outer right leg, bending the right elbow to twist. Inhale, take it back to center, arms up. Exhale, other side. Walk your left hand slightly further back, lengthen through the spine, and then bending the left elbow to twist. And so what this does is it gets just different spots along the spine for you to twist into. Inhale, take it back to center, arms up. Let's take a forward fold again. Arms up, walk your feet a little bit wider, maybe about mat width now. Keep that lengthiness. Keep reaching forward through your heart center, your sternum, reaching forward. Once you reach your maximum, you're staying there, and then grabbing the inner feet or inner legs, anywhere you can hold on to. Inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, deepen the forward fold. Right? If you're not able to come forward that much, you can still bend your knees here, and then grabbing anywhere along the inner legs, and fold. So again, try not to round, but keep that lengthiness as you reach forward. So get the benefits of that lower back stretch without rounding. And take it back up. Take the soles of the feet together, knees apart. Draw the heels in, grabbing the ankles. Let's take some gentle butterflies. All right, come back to stillness. Right hand down, gently press your left thigh away to get more openness into the hips, into the hip crease, into the inner thighs, into the hip crease, and then toward the groin. Release, switch sides. Left hand down, press your right thigh gently away. Take it back up. Move your feet slightly further forward. So now your triangle is a little bit wider. So now it's more like a diamond. Grabbing the inner feet. Or you can thread the arms underneath the legs. This time the forward fold is a very gentle, rounded back forward fold. So go ahead and take it forward. Start to release, take it back up, draw the left heel in, step the right foot down to the side of you. So you're lining up the heel with the right seat. Take the hands to either side of the left leg. Move the right heel slightly further forward and pivot to the heel. Roll the right knee forward. Roll the right knee back 3 times. Roll forward, roll back, roll forward. Roll back. Keep rolling back and stay there. Actively draw the right knee back in space. So you're going into a wider rotation of the hips. Release. Take the inner right thigh to the floor. You're going to angle your torso slightly over to the left and walk your hands forward. Supporting with the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Keep the outer left leg, outer left hip to the floor, and then draw forward. Starting to draw the belly, the ribs, to the inner left thigh. Now stay, what is this, like a 30-degree angle. Keep your left hand to the floor, reach your right arm out in space. You're on your fingertips. You're kind of like clawing your hands to the floor, pressing your fingertips down, but lift the arm away from the floor in opposition. Crawl the fingertips further forward. And creating that space through the underside of your arm into your armpits. Keep it low. Walk it over to the left a little bit. Adjust your left hand and rotate to the left. Reach out once again. So notice this is deepening your twist, deepening your lower back stretch on the outer left thigh, outer left hip stretch. Walk your right hand even further to the left, adjust your left hand accordingly. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, crawl the right fingertips out even more. So now it's an even deeper twist. Alright, so if going this far to the left is too much for you, you can take any angle along the way. What you're looking for is a sense of extension and rotation, but not too much. So you want to feel like you're getting a very nice reach and stretch through the outer arm, and then across the upper back, and then into the lower back, and then onto the outer left hip. So it's a rotational stretch, okay? All right, walk it back in, and take it to the other side as you twist. Right, this is your counter twist. Back to center, switch sides. Right heel comes in. Left leg goes up. Now remember, the right heel does not come in all the way. The right heel is slightly forward. Frame the hands to the floor. Reach your left heel further out and then pivot to your left heel. So you can roll onto the heel of the foot. So it's much more mobile for your leg. Draw the left knee forward. Draw the left knee back. Roll forward. Roll back. Roll forward. Roll back. Keep rolling back. So it's a very active left knee reaching back in space to go into the rotation of the hip joint. And also you should get a nice opening and stretch to your inner thighs, into your hip crease, into your groin. Roll back center, take the inner left thigh down, angling your torso over the right leg. Hands to either side of the right leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to bend the elbows and draw forward. So you're sealing your lower belly, mid-belly, upper belly, lower ribs down toward the inner right thigh. Stay here. All right, ground through right palm. Extend the left arm out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, on your fingertips. Crawl the left fingertips forward, but keep the underside of the arms lifting away from the floor so you have a nice opening and extension through your armpits as well. Crawl forward a little bit more. So again, so you're beginning to get that stretch to the outer arm, shoulder blade on the left side. Then it crosses over through the mid-spine and it goes to your outer right hip, outer right leg, and through. All right, stay low. Walk your hands a little bit further to the right side and then adjust your right hand back in space a little bit. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crawl. Left fingertips even further forward. Resist with your right fingertips pressing down, deepening the twist. Now, if you have a little more in you, walk your left hand even further to the right side, adjust your right hand. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach your left fingertips out and twist. All right, so note, none of this is traditional yoga poses, right, per se, but they are movement and giving you flexibility and extension, right? So, in a more modern expression of the yoga practice, often we infuse a lot of other disciplines, other movement disciplines, Pilates, Tai Chi, all those types of different things to kind of create a much more kind of full spectrum kind of movement of yoga practice. All right, walk your hands back in. Take it back to center, keep the legs, and counter twist. Right, so there's nice benefits that happen with this kind of movement, right? So it's not traditional yoga asanas. However, I think it feels good, right? It's beneficial for the body. Come back to center. Let's extend the legs forward again. And take a forward fold just to bring your body back into left and right symmetry. Arms up and forward. So hopefully by now you have warmed up your muscles enough, right? And giving them enough extension to maybe feel like now this forward fold is a little bit deeper and a little bit easier, right? So as we move, the body warms up, the muscles release a little bit, and then the movement becomes a little bit more free, a little bit easier. All right, take it back up, bend your knees and take the heels back. So hands and knees. All right, so your hands are about shoulders width, fingers wide spread. It is your middle fingers or your index fingers pointing straight forward. Then press strongly into your fingertips, into the knuckles and pads of the hands, but be light on your wrists. So don't, try not to exert too much force into the wrists, but instead spread the work through your fingertips. Your knees are about hips width. So line up your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. All right, on the inhale, draw the navel down. Raise your tail, raise the back of the head. This is your cow pose. It is an arching of your spine, a back bend. Exhale, round the spine. Dome the middle of the back up toward the sky, chin toward the chest. Press strongly into your hands to lift the upper back. This is your cat pose. This is a back bend. Sorry, it's a forward bend. Inhale, draw the navel down, raise your tail, raise the back of the head. Cow pose. Exhale, round into your cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's take that 2 more times. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to neutral spine. Keep your toes tucked under. Reach your right foot back and press your right toes to the floor. Once you ground your toes, press your heel back in space and press your weight back in space. So you're getting a very nice right calf stretch. Release that action, shift back forward a little bit, pick up the right foot, cross it over, pass your left calf to left ankle, and then press the weight back through the right heel again. So this time, when you press your weight back, you should feel it to the outer right leg and into your outer right hip. Right? So when you just press the heel back in space before, your hips are pretty neutral. So you didn't get a lot of sensation happening there. But you should have felt a lot of calf stretch. Now, since you are crossing over, you're allowing yourself a little bit more stretch through the outer right leg, outer right hip. Release that action, come back to center, step the right foot over to the right side. Right? So I went from here to here. Step the right foot down, toes are slightly pointing forward. Line up the left hip to the left knee and stand up tall. Now, if your knees are kind of sensitive, you need a little bit of padding to your left knee, use your blanket or your towel. If you don't need the extra cushioning, perfectly fine to be here. If you want to line up the hip with the knee, and your right heel out to the side. Now, if you have a lot of flexibility in your ankles and you can point the toes straight out to the right side, keep the foot flat and the leg fully extended, you can take that option. However, for most of us, we're going to have to turn your toes in a little bit. Now, make sure you're also lining up the heel with the knee. Okay? Side bending. Arms up, palms face up, arms are parallel to the floor. Side bend over to the right. So you're going into a left side stretch. Make sure you still stabilize through the left leg and then the sole of the right foot. Now, if you have a little bit more side stretch, you can take the right hand and slide it further down, and that will give you a deeper left side stretch. Take it back up, switch sides. Left hand down to the floor, right arm overhead, right side stretch. Let's take a half bind, right arm up and behind you to your lower back. So press the top of the right hand, right forearm to your lower back. Use that resistance so that you can stack the right shoulder. So let the front of the right shoulder draw up and back, and that'll give you a sense of more openness through your chest and more extension through the front of the right shoulder. You can look upwards toward the sky. Release your right arm back up. Take it back to center. Hands to the floor. Step the right foot back, or right knee back, and then pressing the hands to the floor. Keeping your toes tucked under. Let's draw the seat toward the heels. So it's a very active child's pose. So as you draw the seat toward the heels, you're stretching the lower back as you strengthen your arms and your shoulders, also creating more flexibility. All right, so you should find openness in the hips and the glutes. Take it back up to hands and knees. All right, so this time I think I'll give you a back view so that you can see what my legs are doing. So again, measure out your hands and knees. So you should be in a hands and knees position. All right, so tuck the right toes under, reach your left heel back. You know what? Let's take some cat cows first. Cat cows first. Inhale, draw the navel down, raise the tail, raise the back of the head. Exhale, round the spine 5 times. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 2 more times. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to neutral spine. This is your hands and knees. Keep your right toes tucked under. Reach your left heel back. Once you have your left toes press into the floor, left toe mounts, then lean the heel back so you're getting a nice left calf stretch. Alright, so just to point out again, because your hips are pretty neutral here, you're probably not feeling much sensation to your hips at all. Most of this work is into the pressing of the heel back so you're getting a nice left calf stretch. Your arms are maybe a little bit activated by pressing your hands to the floor. You're feeling some sensation through your hands, your arms, and your shoulders, but not so much into your hips. All right, release that action, shift back forward again, pick up the left foot, move your left heel over to the right side, and then lean your left heel back in space and your hips back in space. Notice this action of leaning back right away goes into your outer left hip, outer left leg. Keep reaching your left heel back as well. And start to release that action, shift back forward, pick up the left foot, move your left heel out to the right side. So again, line up the right hip with the right knee, move your left heel out to the side. If you can point the toes all the way out to the left side, great. If you need to turn the toes in a little bit, turn the toes in so that you can keep the left foot flat to the floor. And start to draw up. If you need extra padding, to your right knee, take it. Arms are parallel to the floor, palms face up, and then side bending to the left. So left arm supporting, right arm overhead. It is a right side stretch. If you have a little bit more mobility and you want to slide the left arm further out to deepen the side stretch, go ahead and take it. Take it back up. Right hand to the floor. Left arm up and over the left ear. Reach out to the right side, left side stretch. Half bind. Left arm up and behind you. So the top of the left hand and left forearm presses to your lower back. Use that resistance to stack the shoulders. Draw the left shoulder up and back. Raise the left arm back up, take it back up, hands to the floor, step the left knee back, keep your toes tucked under, walk your hands slightly further forward, right? Maybe about half or one hand bring forward, so that now when you press into your hands and draw the seat toward the heels, you should feel activation of your arms, your shoulders, right? Because you're tractioning your hands to the floor and pressing against the floor. Your toes are tucked under so that as you draw the seat back in space and the weight back, you're bringing tension into your toe mounds, right? And your toes in general. So you're getting toe stretch. Your lower back, maybe a little bit of sensation. Your glutes, a little bit of sensation of openness. All right, transitioning back to down dog. Raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the right foot forward between your hands, ground the back heel down. So make sure that the inside of the foot is parallel to the side of the mat, so that's with your toes pointing forward. Line up the right knee over the right heel, vertical line, and then rise up to warrior one. Palms are facing each other, your arms and your torso up, vertical to the floor. Ground through the back heel down at an angle, and lengthen out the back leg. This is your warrior one. Keep the front leg as is. Open it up for warrior two. So you're rotating the torso to your left side. Keep the right knee over the right heel, and this openness into the hips. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Left hand to support, right arm up and back in space. Right side stretch here in your reverse warrior. Side angle. Right arm to top the right leg to modify. This will make it easier for your hips and your hamstrings, right? You don't have a lot of mobility. However, if you can touch your right hand to the floor to take the full position, take it, and then left arm up. Left palm to face down, reach forward, left side stretch. And then again, half bind, left arm up and behind you, stack your shoulders and lean back. Raise your left arm back up. Inhale, come up. Reverse warrior, once again, straighten your right side. Come back to warrior two. Lengthen out the right leg, triangle. Left hip. tips back a little bit as you lean the torso forward. This brings your torso to now an angle so that it prepares you to take the right hand to the right shin. If you're less flexible, the hand is higher up. If you're a little bit more flexible, maybe you can slide it down to the point that maybe the right hand can touch all the way down. This is your triangle. Extended triangle. Left palm to face down and reach forward. Half bind. Left arm up and behind you. Stack. Take the left arm back up. Inhale. Come up. Reverse triangle. Bend the front knee. Hands to the floor. Right foot stepping back. Lower all the way down to the belly. Hands alongside the rib cage. 3 progressive cobras. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Belly and ribs stay on the floor. Upper back is drawing back in space. Exhale, lower arms all the way down. Inhale, lift up a little higher. So belly and ribs away from the floor. Exhale, lower arms all the way down. Inhale, lift up even higher. Full extension, broaden your shoulders. If you have to keep your elbows bent, stay with the elbows bent. And take it all the way down, and then child's pose. Toes are untucked in this child's pose, and then draw the seat toward the heels, arms extended. And take it back up, down dog. Inhale, left heel up, 3-legged dog. Step the left foot forward between your hands. Right heel comes down, warrior 1. So the inside of the left foot parallel to the side of the back. Left knee lines up over the left heel. You can always use your hands to your thighs to help you rise up. So torso, arms are vertical to the floor, palms facing each other. Back heel is down to the floor. Keep a full extension of the back leg if you can. Warrior 1. Open it up. Warrior 2. Arms are parallel, reaching opposite directions. Check your left leg. So the inside of the foot still parallel to the side of the mat. Left knee lines up over the left heel. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior, left arm up and back. Exhale, side ankle. You can take the elbow to top of the leg, or the left hand to the floor. Take the right arm up, side angle. Then the right palm to face down and reach forward, extended side angle. Half bind, right arm up and behind you, stack your shoulders, lean back. Raise your right arm back up, come up, reverse warrior. Come back to warrior 2. Lengthen out the left leg, triangle. Tip the right hip back. Extend the left arm forward. Left hand to top of shins, a little higher. If you're less flexible, you can slide the left hand down a little bit, or take the left hand all the way down, right arm up, and that is your triangle. Right palm down, extend forward, extended triangle. Right arm up and behind you, half bind, and stack. Raise your right arm back up, come all the way up, reverse triangle. Bend the front knee, hands to the floor. Left foot, stepping back plank, lower all the way down to belly, keep the hands alongside the rib cage, elbows drawn back, 3 progressive cobras. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra, belly and ribs on the floor. On the exhale, lower arms all the way down. Inhale, lift up a little higher, belly and ribs away from the floor. Exhale, lower arms all the way down. Inhale, lift up even higher, maybe fullest extension. Take it all the way down, child's pose. Seat toward the heels once again. Extend the arms forward. Take it up, camel pose. Now, if your knees, again, are sensitive, you can take your blankets or your towels and get some cushioning. If you don't need it, stay directly on the mat. Your knees are about a fist distance. This gives you roughly hips width distance. Tuck the toes under for additional support. Line up the hips with the knees. Start with your hands to your lower back. So your palms are pressing the lower back and your fingers are rounding the top of the glutes. Then draw the elbows back in space to broaden your chest. Lean the hips forward, activating the quads, and with the hips leaning forward, your upper torso leaning back as a counterbalance to start to take your back bend. Shoulders broaden, lift through your sternum, gaze looking upwards at a slight angle. Now, if your back bending is a little bit deeper and you don't need your hands supporting, you can reach back through your heels. Now, once you have your hands and heels, to deepen the pose, you want to lift the hips forward and lean forward, and that will help you broaden your shoulders. As you broaden your shoulders, either keep the gaze looking forward if your neck is maybe a little bit weaker, right? If your neck is strong and flexible, you can drop the head back. Keep leaning the hips forward, keep broadening your chest. Alright, start to break, lift the head back up, lift the torso back up, and then untuck the toes, take the seat down. Hands together in prayer, interlace your fingers, press your palms forward, around the spine. Take it back up, wrap the hands back behind you, interlace. Broaden your shoulders, reach your knuckles back if you can, lift the heart center up, gaze up. Now, if grabbing your hands in this way is difficult, you can grab opposite elbows instead. It works the same. Alright, start to release. Hands together in prayer. Take the other interlacing of your hands, press forward, around. Come back up, wrap the hands back behind you, also interlacing with the other thumb on top. Draw the shoulders open, lift the heart up, gaze up, and reach knuckles back. If you're taking opposite elbows instead, go ahead. And release. Down dog, tucking your toes under, lifting. Inhale, raise your left leg up, three-legged dog. Step the left foot forward, right knee comes down, crescent moon. Again, you can be padding to your right knee. Hands to top of thighs, and then lunge your hips forward. Right, depending. If this is good enough and you want the support of your hands to your thighs, keep it here. Right? Either keep the spine straight. If you want more back bending, press into your hands, gently looking up and lean the upper torso back. So that's the beginning of your back bend. For those of you going further, you can raise the arms up and take Venus Mudra, index fingers pointing up, interlacing the other fingers, and then reaching the arms up and back. Now, if you don't have a lot of shoulder mobility, you may not be able to get the arms behind the ears in this way. That's okay. You can reach straight up, or you can even reach forward, right? So looking for the extension will start to get your shoulder mobility to start to take place. And then in time, just keep moving arms further and further back. Now, if even that is too difficult, right? You can always separate your hands. Arms can go up and back in space with the hands separated, straight up or forward. You can even go wide, right? It all depends on your shoulder mobility. All right, let's start to break. Hands to either side of the left foot. Now let's tuck the right toes under again and shift the hips back over your right knee. You know what? Let's take it differently today. Let's untuck the toes and sit on the heel. Keep the left leg extended. Inhale, lengthen. Keep supporting with your hands. Exhale, take it forward. You can keep your hands supporting, or you can take the right hand to grab the left foot and fold. So you should feel calf stretch, hamstring stretch of the left leg. All right, let's break. Step the left back down, ground the palms, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. So now you're in a low lunge. Kick the left leg up, open up the hips, bend the left knee, sideward scorpion. So you're stacking your left hip over your right and rotating to the left side. Your left knee is reaching up, right heel is reaching down. So it's just to give your left leg a little bit of a release. All right, draw the left knee back in, pigeon. Land the left shin to the floor at an angle. You're in a pointed toe position. Left thigh, left knee, angles up to the left side. Right, so the thighs away from the belly. Hands supported. Inch your right and further back so you can lower your seat, untuck the toes. Then walk your hands further back to take the torso to a more vertical position. So if you did this measurement correctly, you should feel pretty level in the pelvis. You should feel pretty vertical in your spine to the point that maybe you don't even need your hands for support. Walk your hands forward. You can take your forearms down. You can make pillows with the hands. You can extend the arms forward. Sometimes I even like to take fists, one lined up over the other, and rest my forehead. So that feels quite nice too, if that is an option you want to take. So your option to stay put here in your pigeon, whatever forward folding variation you have, or if you want a little bit more work here and you want to lift the torso back up for a stretch, you can take hands back behind you for the heart opener. You can side bend to the left with the right arm up. You can side bend to the right with the left arm up. If you want to bind right hand to right foot for your mermaid, grab the outside of the right foot, kick the foot away from you. When you kick the foot away from you, it stretches your right arm, right shoulder. Also, it takes your torso to a more vertical position, maybe even into a back bend if you can take it back enough, right? And what that does is it frees up the weight of your left arm to reach forward and up, and this is the full expression of your mermaid one. Give you a few more breaths here, working through your variations if you like. All right, start to break. Lift back up, walk your hands back in. Tuck the right toes under and press into your hands, lift the left shin and step the left foot back, right to your down dog and pedal out, walking it out side to side. All right, second side. Raise your right leg up, step the right foot up, raise your right leg up, open up the hips, bend the right knee. Extend the right foot back up, step it forward. Crescent moon, left knee comes down, untucking the toes. Take extra padding to your left knee if you need it. Then walk your hands to top of the thighs. Lunge forward. Now try to line up the right knee over the right heel and keep the right heel down. Then press your hands into your thighs and start to lean the upper torso back. So that's the hip opening and the back bend. You may stay here, supported with your hands, or Venus Mudra, arms up and back. So again, you have multiple options here you can take with your arms, right? You can keep your arms in Venus Mudra, taking the arms behind the ears, as far back as you can, straight up, or arms forward if your shoulders are tight. You can also separate your hands. Forward, arms up, and back behind the ears. You can even go sideways in a V shape, right? If your shoulders are really tight, or maybe you're working with injuries, something like that. Right? So taking it a little bit easier by taking the arms out to a wide position. 2 more breaths. all the way back. You're going to sit on your left heel. Flex your right foot, fully extend the right leg, so you're getting a right calf stretch, hamstring stretch. Hands to either side, inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. So you can adjust your hands accordingly, right? They don't have to be perfectly symmetrical, but they need to be supportive, so that when you draw forward, you're nice and supported here, not very shaky and still, right? Because you are on your right hamstring stretch. If you're not very steady, if you fall out to the side, right, God forbid, if you hurt yourself because you've fallen and you've overstretched your hamstrings, right? So we do not want that at all. All right, starting to break. Make your way back up, step the right foot down, support with your hands, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Ground the palms, raise your right leg up, open up the hips, bend the right knee and stay here. As you stack the hips, right knee is reaching up, left heel is reaching down. You're going into a hip opener. Raise your right leg back up, square off, draw the right knee in. Point the right toe position, land the shin to the floor, right? Into your left knee, as far back as you can and lower the seat. Untuck the toes. Walk your hands back. Elongate through the spine. So your hips should be pretty level, your spine should be pretty vertical. If you don't need the support of your hands, arms up to either side, this is your test. And then walk your hands forward. Lower your forearms. Make pillows with the hands or just rest your forehead. Some of you may also like making two fists and resting your forehead. Alright, those of you who like variations, take it or just stay put, right? This feels quite nice as well. You can just stay in this passive pigeon. Work here with hip opening. You have about 3 more deep breaths. Alright, let's start to walk back in. Tuck the left toes under. Press into your hands, lift the right shin, and step right back to the down dog. And start to pedal out the legs. And start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. And take the seat down. Extending legs forward. Arms to either side, using the hands as support, sliding the hands out, and that supports the weight as you recline back. Once you're on your backs, keep the left arm out, take the left knee in, and twist to the right. Left knee back to center, switch legs, switch arms, and twist to the left. back to center again. Hug both knees in. And then step the feet to the floor. Slide the legs forward. Shavasana, final relaxation. Let the feet separate, toes turn out, arms alongside body, palms facing up. Let it all go. Beginning to reconnect to the breath, moving the fingers and your toes. Reach the arms overhead, stretching in opposite directions. Roll over to the right side and come up to a comfortable cross-legged position. Reconnecting to an even seat, a lengthy spine, shoulders broad, breath deep, and let the neck be free. Inhale for Om. Hands together in prayer, bowing forward, sealing the practice. Come up. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I really appreciate that. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule, as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. My preferred way of payment is through Venmo, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab, and the 4-digit ID code is 8096. If you're prompted for it. Classes are $10, and it's $5 if you're having a difficult time right now. Let's do the best we can to support each other. I am streaming on Facebook and on Instagram, and then the videos are saved. Apparently Instagram is doing a new thing where they're probably doing away with the live stories where they're saved for 24 hours. Now they're just saving under your profile, right? So they're just automatically archived. So now my Instagram is also saving all my videos. But if you're having a difficult time with the audio and video of the streaming on Instagram and Facebook, the best place for you is to go to my YouTube channel, which is Simha Yoga Lab. The video audio is superior on there, and it's on there 24 hours, and it's permanently archived. So my full library of classes are there, so check it out there. Okay, thank you so much. Be well. I will see you soon. Take care, everybody.